Hello everyone. Hello my friends, my YouTube friends, YouTube family. This is Live, Love, Laugh with me, Karine, and I'm glad that I'm back again to your screens. And I've brought a very interesting topic today, which I want to talk about. And I'll be very pleased if you watch this video and you make your opinion known to me. It will be a good thing. Please, when you watch this video, be kind enough to leave a comment on what you think, what's your opinion on the topic that I'll be treating this day. Leave your thoughts, leave your opinion, what you think about it, or your suggestions, or whatever it is. Then we can take it from there and we all learn from it. Yes, please leave a comment, subscribe, like my video, and share. Please share. It is very important. Let us build a community here on YouTube, on Live, Love, Laugh with me, Karine. So how do you subscribe on YouTube? There are a lot of people who like what they see come out of YouTube, but they are not very used to YouTube. So how do you subscribe to a channel on YouTube? Now, there is two ways of subscribing. You can subscribe and you don't get notified when the content provider uploads a new video. But then if you want to subscribe and get notifications from every content that is posted by the content provider, then you will have to go one step further. So you click on the subscribe button right at the bottom of the video on the right hand side. When you hold your phone, it is on the right hand bottom of the video. Click on subscribe. When you click on subscribe, there will be a bell icon that will come up after the subscribe. You click on that bell icon, then you look on the bottom left, just across on the other side of the subscribe, you see a pop-up. On that pop-up, you click on all. That all is saying that each time this content provider uploads a video, YouTube should indicate to me that a new video has been uploaded. Now YouTube is going to send you a message telling you that a new content has been uploaded by your particular content provider. Then you can just click on it and you watch it. Without which you will be missing out on a couple of videos that your content provider is posting. So without much ado, let us go into the topic for today. So I've often wondered what causes a couple, people who are married, because what I'm here to go in search of certain things that may hinder marriages from growing well or growing successfully, or things that make marriages good or happy. I'm here to particularly bring out those things and bring them to light, so that there could be discussions about it in different marriages. There could be discussions about it by individuals in marriages, so that they get those information. They could do more research on it and get that information to better grow their marriages and sustain it. So today is no different. So I'm here because I've been so intrigued by reasons why in a marriage relationship a couple or the couples will cheat on each other. So I've been very intrigued about that particular aspect that comes up in certain marriages, and I decided to go on a research and to reflect also within me to say what could be if a couple would cheat, or say from the perspective of a wife, if a wife would cheat, what could be some of those reasons that could cause them to do so. So I had to do some research and I had to just ask the questions to myself and to try and come up with some answers that I want to bring to us today, reasons why, and probably some solutions to prevent this from happening. So without a lot more to say before I start, here we go. So I realized that one of the reasons why a spouse would cheat on his or her partner the one of the reasons would be that their needs are unmet. When we say needs unmet are in different aspects, are in different things. And example of such needs that may be unmet are maybe emotional needs, sexual needs, financial needs. Needs are unmet. When needs are unmet, the partner or the spouse who cannot be able to handle such emptiness will turn to go out of the marriage to meet those needs. Will turn to go out of the marriage to meet those needs. It is very important. They say when you can diagnose a problem, you are able to find solutions to that problem. It is important. There are many couples, I believe, that perhaps may not even know the reason why they stray out of their marriages. But if someone can do a research and come up with a reason, that particular spouse gets to see it or hear about it, they may think, maybe that could be the reason why I do this. Some of these people do these things, they don't know why they're doing it. So that is why I took it upon myself to do some research and to just ask some basic questions within me to try to find out what could be the reason. So needs being unmet will cause a spouse to be unhappy, will cause a spouse to be dissatisfied in marriage. An unhappy spouse, a dissatisfied spouse, can do the unthinkable. Yes, can do the unthinkable. And how do you resolve when you are unsatisfied, when you are unhappy in your marriage? Something causes that unhappiness. And what is that thing? That thing can be from within you. That thing can be something that comes from the opposite spouse. And the only way to combat that, I find or I believe, is communication. If you can communicate what it is that makes you unhappy, if you can successfully communicate clearly and lovingly, you are able to articulate exactly what it is that makes you unhappy, exactly what it is that makes you unsatisfied, exactly what need it is that is not being met by your spouse. If you can communicate that effectively, then it is one step towards solving your problem. Cheating has never solved a problem. Cheating till tomorrow will never solve a problem. If there is one thing that cheating does, is that it batters the partner who is cheated on. If there is one thing that cheating does, is that it splits marriages. If there is one thing that cheating does, is that it strains marriages. If there's one thing that cheating does, is that it causes distrust, mistrust in a marriage. So communication in this aspect is very key. If you must find solutions to certain things that are not met when it comes to you in particular, that causes you to be unhappy, that causes you to be dissatisfied. It is unfortunate that in the African context, we are not brought up to communicate emotions. In the African context, we are not brought up to communicate our emotions. That is why you find that in most marriages, communication is very difficult. Not to talk of communication when a partner or when a spouse is sexually unsatisfied in a marriage. It is very challenging for such a partner to communicate effectively what it is that they want from their partner. It is very challenging because the African context has taught us that sex is this beautiful thing that must not be talked about. But if it is talked about in a very moral way, then it becomes something that can work for the good rather than for the bad. So it is unfortunate that as we grow up, as we've been growing up, we grew up with our parents and aunties and siblings and all that. We have never been taught how to communicate, because they say when an elder speaks, you keep quiet. So we have carried that through life, and we have carried that even in our marriages in such a way that if there is something very important for us to communicate about, we find it very, very challenging. It is something that even myself, I work consciously to overcome that. I work consciously to overcome that. Communication, to communicate what exactly it is that bothers you, what exactly it is that makes you unhappy, what exactly it is that causes you to be dissatisfied in one thing or the other. So in this light, we're talking about cheating. So it is important that if you are unsatisfied in your marriage, if you are unhappy because one need or the other is not being met by your spouse, it is important to communicate that. Communicate that to your spouse in very clear terms and in very accurate and effective and in a very loving way. And in a very loving way. So that is key if we must build marriages that are void of cheating. And next, another thing that I also want to talk about is that causes partners to cheat or spouses to cheat is spouses who feel unappreciated. There are spouses out there who feel unappreciated, and they turn to find that appreciation out of their marriages. It is very important. There are many times that in marriage you could take each other for granted. There are many times in marriage that you could take each other for granted. Aside from the aspect of taking each other for granted, sometimes a couple can feel unappreciated because they've set unrealistic goals for the other partner or for the other spouse to meet or to accomplish for them. So it must be a soul-searching thing. What is it that causes a spouse to cheat? If you are one of those out there who might have cheated in one point or the other, it is time to ask questions. Ask yourself questions. What is the reason I cheated? Because they say once you've cheated, or once a cheat, always a cheat. There are most times where a cheat will repent, but there are many times when a cheat will continue to be a cheat if they don't face their problems head on and be able to find lasting solutions to it. So couples feeling unappreciated will cause one of the two or even the two couples to stray out of their marriages. It is very important that we must appreciate each other. If you are married, strive to appreciate your wife, strive to appreciate your husband. Through the good, the bad, and the ugly, try to appreciate each other. Because that appreciation builds confidence. That appreciation builds your inner man. It builds you as a person. So let's not take each other for granted. Let's not take each other for granted. Yes, let's not take each other for granted. Yes, another reason why couples may feel the need to cheat is one thing that I found out to be, they say, boredom. That a couple is bored. Either one of them or the two people in the marriage feel bored. Boredom. And if you look at the word boredom, if you want to combat boredom, how do you combat it? By finding things that cause excitement. And you and I will know that the act of chasing and the act of being chased causes excitement. So many couples will go out for that particular excitement that is caused by by chasing and being chased. They go out with that excitement. So excitement can be created in a marriage. That excitement that was there at the beginning, that excitement that was there during courtship, can be created in the course of the marriage, because usually this boredom would set in many years down the line. But if you know the reason why you are married, you wouldn't stray because you want to resolve the issue of boredom. You will be able to recreate that atmosphere. If you are determined, if you want it to happen, you'll be able to recreate that atmosphere that once was at the beginning. That atmosphere that once was when during courtship, you'll be able to recreate that if you are committed to doing so. Marriage is not a walk in the park. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes commitment to make it work. So cheating should not be a solution. It should not be a thing that spouses use to combat boredom. Boredom in marriage is real, but when it comes to boredom, it is important that you find other ways of combating boredom. And what is that? Creating that atmosphere, creating that romance that was there from the beginning, that romance that was there when you met each other, when you were in the period of courtship. You can recreate that. And when you recreate that, you find out that the boredom aspect gets out of the window and there's excitement created once again in the marriage. So watch out for boredom. Watch out for boredom. Watch out for boredom. Another thing that will cause a couple to stray out of the marriage or to cheat or to decide to cheat is revenge. I find out that there are certain cheating that is called revenge cheating. A spouse who has been cheated on decides to go out and cheat also because they want to cause revenge. When you go out and cheat because of revenge, cheating leaves a lasting scar on a marriage. There may be forgiveness, there may be decision to move forward together, but it causes a lasting scar. It causes a lasting scar. So let us not revenge in cheating. Revenge should be a no-no in marriage. Revenge should be a no-no in marriage. And other couples will say that they cheat because they cheat because they fall out of love with their partner or with their spouse. They fall out of love. But I'm here to say that marriage, as much as love will take us into marriage, it will take more than love for a marriage to be sustained. So it is important that if anyone is getting into marriage, know that it takes more than love to sustain a marriage. It takes more than love to sustain a marriage. It takes more than love to sustain a marriage. So when you fall out of love with your partner or with your spouse, so it is said, falling out of love in marriage, let the other things keep you away from cheating. Let the other things keep you away from cheating. On this particular point, I wouldn't want to talk more in this particular video because I have another topic coming up on how do couples sustain their marriage. From my experience of almost a 15-year of a happy marriage, not void of challenges, ups and downs, not void of the hard times, there is no lesson that is small to learn. There is no lesson. There is no marriage that someone cannot learn anything from. So that is what gives me the drive to be able to come out and to just speak of what I know and what is working for me, so that someone may be helped through my own journey. Through my own journey. There are many people out there who are addicted to sex. That could be another reason why people cheat. They are addicted to sex, so they are never satisfied with what their spouse offers them. It is very, very important not to set unrealistic goals and hold your partner or hold your spouse up to meet those goals. Sex is just a spice in marriage. It's just a spice in marriage. It's not what makes a marriage. It's a spice. So if we look at it from that angle, then we will not go out to cheat when we are sexually unsatisfied. Let us create realistic goals, realistic expectations from our spouses. That is very, very much important. It's very important. And there are certain people who cheat because of their ego. They cheat because they are self-centered. They don't care about the feelings of their spouse. Some people think that it's a man's world. In the area talking about men, some men think it's a man's world, so they are able to do what it is that they please. Some people think that it is onto a man to have many wives or concubines, if I may put it that way. So cheating is not a problem with a man. That is not factual. That is not factual. That is twisted. Once you've said I do to one wife, one husband, it should stay that way. It should stay that way. Many people are unsatisfied in their marriages because of one thing or the other. One thing I've grown to learn is that patience is very important in marriage. Patience is a key, one of the keys to a successful marriage. Because if you are not patient, in moments where you are unsatisfied, in moments where you are unhappy, in moments whether you are unhappy because needs have not been met, if you are not patient, then you are susceptible to strain. If you are not patient, then you are vulnerable to strain. So it is important to exercise patience in your marriage, patience with your spouse. Patience is very important. One of the keys to sustaining a marriage. Patience. Don't set unrealistic goals for your partner to uphold. There are people who stray out of their marriages because they feel like their needs have not been met in particular areas. And some people even go as far as straying because they don't have the sex of the child that they desire. They will go out to go and look for that. Nobody gives children. As much as it is said biologically that a man will produce the sperms and a wife will produce the eggs and it will be fertilized and a child will come up, but ultimately God is the giver of children, whether male or female. Don't stray out of your marriage. Don't destroy your marriage with cheating because you are setting unrealistic goals for your partner. You are setting unrealistic goals for your partner. Be satisfied with what you've gotten. Be satisfied with what you've gotten. Once you've gotten what you've gotten, keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. And make it the beauty that you want. Make it the garden that you want. Make it the rose that you want. You can't marry, particularly for men. Men will marry a woman and you will not take care of that woman, but you will want to look at other beautiful ladies outside. You want to chase other beautiful ladies you consider beautiful outside, while you leave your wife at home looking all dull and dreary. We must examine ourselves. We must. I often say that if anyone cheats in marriage, then they are a boy. If a man cheats in marriage, then that man is a boy. If a woman cheats in marriage, then that woman is a girl. You have not grown to manhood. You have not grown to womanhood. Because where there's manhood, where there is womanhood, you will learn perseverance. You will learn patience. You will learn to communicate in order to resolve certain things that cause you unhappy and dissatisfied. You will learn to resolve it. And I find out that some of the secondary reasons why people may cheat is people who watch pornography. Pornography is a no-no to a couple. It's a no-no to everything couple, everything marriage. There are wives who turn to pornography because of sexual dissatisfaction. That is not the best way. There are husbands who turn to pornography because of sexual dissatisfaction. That is not the best way to handle that. You can be able to teach each other on how to please each other. You can teach your husband on how to please you sexually. You can teach your wife on how to please you sexually. It is a school. That is why they call marriage a school. That is why marriage is called a school that you never graduate from, a school that you keep learning as you go, you keep making changes as you go, you keep evolving as you go, and as you evolve, it is important that your spouse evolves with you, or your spouse understands that human nature must change. Because there are certain spouses, when the other spouse is changing, they tend not to accept that. It doesn't sit well with them, and the only way for them to solve or resolve that is to go out of the marriage to other people. It is very important that we sit and reflect. What causes people to cheat? People who cheat, sit and reflect. There are medical reasons that may trigger people to act out of character, but I'm not here to talk about the medical reasons. I'm here to talk about the reasons that you and I cannot doubt. Because medical reasons can be argued, but things that have been proven to be facts, to be the reasons why people cheat, those cannot be doubted. Those cannot be doubted. As I conclude, I would say that if you have been cheated on, know that it is never your fault. Until tomorrow, it will never be your fault. It is the fault of the perpetrator. It is the fault of the cheat. Anyone who cheat in their marriages, there are people who cheat and they try to explain their way out of it and blame their spouse for the reasons of cheating. No spouse that has been cheated on are the cause of the spouse, are the cause or the reason why the other spouse will stray. So have that in mind, bear that in mind, and live a cheating-free marriage. And live a cheating-free marriage. So with that, I will say goodbye for now and hope to see you in the next video. Please leave a like, leave a comment if you can, share my video and subscribe to my channel. I'll be very grateful, and goodbye for now.